Well, former peace negotiator Gidi Grinstein is still with me in the studio. And Gidi, we were talking before the break about what Gaza might look like if and when this deal is accepted. And you believe that Israel's security guarantees have been met, because there was some dispute, wasn't there, about the use of the term a complete end of the war, which is what Hamas wanted, and Israel refused to have that in.
So basically, we're looking at a situation where everybody came into these negotiations with some expectations, but nobody will walk away with all of their expectations addressed. In this case, I believe that the convergence is around, as mentioned earlier, dividing Gaza into two categories of area. The perimeter of Gaza, which we may call Area B, like in the West Bank, in which Israel has security control, about 20% of Gaza, and the rest will be Area A, which is controlled by the Palestinians, eventually controlled by the Palestinians. It will obviously take time, and then the Palestinians can invite in the international force to take over that area, both security and reconstruction. We have to remember that right now in Gaza there is a legal void. Israel withdrew in 2005, Hamas took over, canceled the Oslo Accords, and right now there is no legal framework in Gaza. That legal framework has to be reintroduced. The only possible legal framework that can be introduced is effectively the interim agreement that exists in the West Bank, which could be brought into Gaza by installing in Gaza Area A and B. We also have to remember that one of Israel's core demands is that the IDF will be able to move in and out in order to do what we call hot pursuit. The existing agreements facilitate that. The UAE, other countries are saying, we will not come into Gaza unless invited by the Palestinians, but also if the IDF is moving in and out, sort of unannounced. So in many ways, we're seeing the convergence around some sort of a transition period in which initially the international force will come in based on the existing agreements between Israel and the PLO, and eventually there will be some sort of a move toward a permanent status of Gaza in which some people could say that there will be a Palestinian state, obviously limited powers, and once that statement is being made, it opens the door for a giant achievement for Israel, which is the normalization deal with Saudi.
Just on that then, if we kind of flip things, if that will be the case, if Hamas will no longer be in control of the Gaza Strip, why is it agreeing to this deal? What does it get out of it if it's agreeing to end its own control?
There are a number of sort of explanations of why Hamas went into war. One of the primary explanations is to release their own prisoners. They have thousands, more than 10,000 people in the Israeli jails. We have to remember that since the Shalit deal, they've had 4 people in Gaza, 2 alive and 2 dead. And they wanted to do a deal for many years with Israel, but Israel refused to do the deal. In May 2018, even Sinwar came out with an open invitation or even call to Netanyahu to do the prisoner deal. And there are many people who believe that the primary cause for the war in October 7, for the attack in Israel, is to bring in the hostages in order to do this prisoner exchange, which right now they're doing. This is a primary cause for them. The second thing is Hamas is seen as an organization that led to the devastation of Gaza and to the Israeli incursion and effectively control of Gaza. So a political horizon in which Israel leaves Gaza is an achievement for Hamas. To begin with, even before the war, there are a lot of people...
Even if they've lost territory?
Even if they've lost territory, but remember, it's a temporary loss. It's a perimeter that Israel will have a temporary control. That temporary control could be for many years to come. But Area B, according to the Oslo Accords, will be Palestinian in permanent status. Again, we're talking about what may be a long, drawn out interim transition period. But at the end of the day, if they are able to say on the Palestinian side, but also the UAE and Saudi and other countries, that Israel has basically agreed that it will not annex any part of Gaza, it will not settle in Gaza. And that sort of allows Hamas to actually say that they are handing over, or they will give the power to the Palestinian Authority, or that the Palestinian Authority with its security forces can come in and basically take control of Gaza. We also have to see what's going on in the West Bank. Israel has actually allowed the Palestinian Authority to try to flex its muscles in Jenin and in Nablus. So far, not so successfully, but it is a very important sign that Israel still upholds the security collaboration with the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. The third thing to remember, there is an open Jordanian, has been an open Jordanian intervention invitation, to upgrade the security capabilities of the Palestinian security forces ahead of moving into Gaza. So there are a lot of moving pieces here, but I think we're in a pivotal moment, where a lot of opportunities, political opportunities, may open if we can move through the first phase, in which hopefully 33, 34 hostages are back, God willing, very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Gidi, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.